H.O.G.
Cheddar, hey, grind hard for the culture. They placed us behind, so you know we gotta get back. It's a lot of things that you gon' face in this world when your skin color is black. Grind hard for the culture. They placed us behind, so you know we tryna get back. It's a lot of stuff that you gon' face in this world when your skin color is black. Black, 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 it's black, black, black. Discrimination and hating got put through all that. Big dog, CEO, I wear all hats. Never lied to you once, I spit all facts. That was our people sprayed with the water hose. That was our women raped and then called hoes. How I'm done, my ancestor taught your child to read. Not to mention all the resources we created. Why they didn't want to see black families together? Would it be too strong with two parents at home? Young nigga better listen to this pimpin'. Don't you ever let the police get you slipping. Fuck playing with guns, educate yourself. Now lead your son. You gon' treat your lady right if you respect your mom. Otherwise, treat the opposition how it comes. You're only a slave if you think you one, nigga, yeah. Grind hard for the culture. They placed us behind, so you know we gotta get back. It's a lot of things that you gon' face in this world when your skin color is black. Grind hard for the culture. They placed us behind, so you know we tryna get back. It's a lot of stuff that you gon' face in this world when your skin color is black. Black. Black, black, it's black, black, cheddar, black. Hey, I'm just a king from the south. I had a dream like Martin, I hope I live it out. Hey, black on black crime, it's a new time. It ain't just the opposite, I gotta watch mine. They smile in your face, but put a knife to your spine. You can do the same. Hey, welcome to another episode of the H.O.G Podcast Show. It's Friday, September the 1st. Man Cave Talk, Unintentional Bias. I'm your host, Cheddar.
What up, CEO? Hey, shit on you and such.
Let me pull my homes up.
Yo, stupid. Hey, don't be a damn fool financially, man. What's happening?
Hey, y'all know what time it is, man. Now, before we get into content, you know, three things we got to do is how it gets. Let's stay prayed up.
Stay
pulled up, man.
Off the Celsius tonight, man.
CEO every day snoring.
CEO every day snoring.
Every day, precipitation.
Friend right there, the horn, man. That's man. Y'all know what time it is. This is the H.O.G Podcast Show. We do this every Friday at 7 p.m. or in between 7 p.m. and 7:30. We be on Black Gold. How we do it, man. Tonight we talking some game. We doing some good feedback on unintentional bias in the workplace, like corporate workplace America. You know what I'm saying?
That's a pretty tight spot.
One of these things that made us agree to this, or made me bring it up, but us agree to the unintentional bias thing, is because it's a lot of this stuff going on in the corporate world, you know, and a lot of people just don't either know the knowledge to speak up for themselves or just ain't got it in them to do so. So this episode gonna be about educating people on, you know, maybe certain rights you might have as an employee, you know what I'm saying? Different things like that. Also in the world, you know what I'm saying? Like we deal with it every day, going into stores, getting treated certain ways, you know, getting followed by people just because of how you look, you know what I mean? Not knowing you might have a pocket full of money. So we see this shit on an everyday basis, man. So hop off into it. Jay, what you feel about unintentional bias? Have you ever experienced it or?
Man, I experience that every day. Shit, that happens all the time. Like where we work at, you know, being in the military, you know, you got you got different sides. You know, you got your enlisted side, and you got your officer side. You know, the officer side of the house. The enlisted side of the house, you know, they're pretty much like, you know, your worker bees, right? That's how they do it, because, you know, the military is like a civilian organization now. And then you got your officers you know, they are like the supervisors and stuff like that. So the biggest bias that we have all the time is a lot of people think that if you're an officer, that means you're smarter. It's like, if you're enlisted, that means you're the dumb one, you're the grunt one, you out there in the fields, digging the trenches, picking cotton, shit like that. That's that's how I look at it. So yeah, for me personally, yeah, I go through that shit every day.
Okay. So is it just on the work level, or is it in society too? Like, do you see it in your community?
I think yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. It's the same thing even in the community, especially being on all different military installations and all like that. You see the different levels of respect that people get based on who they think that you are.
Mm-hmm.
But if you actually sit down and talk to some of these people, you be like, bro, they trash.
Right.
I know Lee know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Lee, what you got? What you think about it? Do you experience it? Have you went through it when you was in the workplace?
Yep, all of the above. In the workplace, just the caveat on what Jay Scott said, like when I was enlisted, the thing I always ran into was like, I'm getting treated like I don't have the ability to think.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I show that I can think, then the motherfucker want to take it and make it their own. Like, nah, man.
Right, that ain't the way it's going.
Yeah, and then like, in society, just out and about, like, cause I like guns, and I like getting them, and I like getting them the legal way, So that shit, it's a little different,
right?
Being a brother with that type of hobby, and doing it a different way than most of my brothers do. You know what I mean? Like, but teach his own, bro. Because at the end of the day, I'm either gonna spend my money with you, or I'm gonna spend my money online. And I'll be honest with you, like that unintentional bias is the exact reason why I have not bought a gun in this local community, or in where Jay at is, in like 2 years. I've been, gun broker gang. You hear me?
Yeah.
Cause I ain't gotta look at nobody. All I gotta do is call them on the phone, pay them, or hop online, pay them. They gonna send me my shit. I'm gonna go pick my shit up, and who I go pick my shit up from is cool, but they just don't be having the guns I want.
Straight up. Shout out to Katrina in the building, man. Hey y'all, I'm in here. All right. Shout out to the Can You Handle It podcast.
The unintentional bias is everywhere, bro. And like, I feel like you get stereotyped, and it's like, oh, he the big black dude, motherfucker scared of you for nothing. And it's just all different kind of shit. Like I didn't got, that unintentional bias is like, when I was bigger, people would literally, like, go across the street when I was walking down the street for fucking nothing. Like,
what's up, Auntie Mama?
Auntie Tina in the building.
Yes, sir. Hit the like, share, comment button that she always say.
You know how they say, that commercial where the black dude walking and the little old white lady is walking, and when she see the black dude, she move a purse.
Yeah,
bro. I was legit trying to hold the door for a lady, and she did that shit.
Yeah, that's a good example, because I was just
trying to hold the door.
Yeah, you can't even be courteous no more. A lot of people, like, I was gonna ask that too about examples of the biasness. Like, for me, I went to the store the other night, like probably like after like 10:30, you know what I'm saying? Just to grab some little goodies and stuff. And when I was in the store, it was a black dude, you know, brown skinned dude. He might want African American, but he was just, you know, one of us, you know, from how he see shit. And he was buying a cup of ice, and then he had some change, you know what I'm saying? But he wanted to turn the change into dollars, you know. He wanted to give her the change for the dollars, basically. And
Which they always need.
yeah, and it was and I was surprised because it was a Puerto Rican dude in front of me. You know what I'm saying? So we looking at her saying like, nope, I'm not finna take your change like this and this. So I'm like, okay, like what y'all don't take change, or you know, how much is the cup of ice? Cause we could just buy the shit for him and then give it to him. You know what I'm saying? But she was like, just like, no, I just don't, I can't take change and this and that, which I never really heard. But it's like in that point, like if it was the opposite, like if it was your people, would you have went the extra mile to do that? You know, something inside of me say that she probably would have, you know what I'm saying? But just seeing it is stuff that we deal with on an everyday basis, even outside of the corporate thing, you know what I'm saying?
But you know what though, bro? What you just did is unintentional bias.
What's that? By
assuming that she would have
yeah,
did it.
And that's why I said I took it into consideration though. That's why I ain't really just punched too much on it. All I asked her was how much the cup of ice, because I was gonna buy it and make it for the guy. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah. But I mean, you're probably right though. So I mean, like, I'm not doing for it, and I'm doing the same shit because she probably would have.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Maybe it's something, but you know how the world is now. Like I was telling my wife about it, and I was like, you know how the world is now. Maybe, you know, it's late at night. She an older white lady. So maybe, you know, it is people out here on goof ass shit that's coming with change and try to see how much money in the register and may snatch some shit or do some like, you know, robbery type shit. So that's what made me step back and think before I even said anything else other than the how much is the ice, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's still, you would have took that chance with a person that probably looked it like you know what I'm saying? And ain't nothing wrong with it because most of us deal with people that we comfortable with. You know what I'm saying? Yep. I could be at the booth with one of my white homies or whatever, and the people gonna come up. What's up with the Ricky Rose? I mean Rossi. He gonna get on to me about that. Shout out to Rick and the Billion, man.
What's going on, Rick?
The Italian drummer and all of that. My boy in the band. We're gonna have to get him on here and talk about some of that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so unintentional bias, you know, sometimes, you know, for certain people, if they get targeted too much, like this all fall in line with the micromanaging, the feeling targeted, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of different things that we go through as like minorities and corporations. So, you know, we here to just talk about this shit like from a personal level. That's why I'm here to just speak about like a lot of different stuff that I see that's like lopsided in the corporation. Yeah, I work for a good company, but at the same time, a lot of things are not across the board when it comes to certain people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's something we've been dealing with for a while, you know, but it's time to like know that you get a voice and know that you can speak up when there's something that you feel that ain't right. You know what I'm saying? Or that benefit your family. Because when we going to work, we doing this because we got something to take care of. You know what I'm saying? I don't think nobody be out here working if they ain't really have to. You know what I'm saying? So, thinking about bringing an example to the corporate place, like that was from the gas station that I was out here in my neighborhood, but to a corporate place, like, you know, just like different things we go through, like we had to do a course that was about, you know, unintentional bias. You know what I'm saying? And I was looking at it like, dang, like what would make a person be required to do a course about unintentional bias unless people really notice that there's some bias shit going on. You know what I'm saying? And it sounds like to me like a way to cover up for being intentional when it comes to certain groups of people. So in the course, it kind of tell you about, like, you know, they have different scenarios and examples. Like this lady was saying something to this lady that had an afro. Basically, I can't quote what she was saying, but I remember she was saying like the girl had an afro and it wasn't one of them rugged looking ones neither. It was a, you know, nice fluffy. She had a good course of hair, to make a long story short. So, so you know, the lady, her boss was like, hey, like your hair looks okay, but you ever thought about pressing it or straightening it, like some to that content, you know what I'm saying? And the lady kind of took offense to it. This all in the course that we have to do. And I just had some situations to where I had to break it down to the people that presented this course, like, hey, we doing a course about this, but we dealing with this on an everyday basis. You know what I'm saying? We dealing with this every time we come in the door. We deal with this. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's you coming in as a leader of a corporation and walking past the people that work with you. You know what I'm saying? Not for you. They work with you, and you go to like people that you're more comfortable with having like conversation with. Say good morning. I just feel like it should be different. If you're a leader and you coming into an establishment, you should be able to, you should be able to make everybody feel welcome. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Even if you don't deal with some people directly, I feel like you should be able to make people feel welcome. You know what I'm saying? But that's just a couple things that I went through with it. And, kind of some of the things that still me to want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Got it. What you think about it? You ain't worked in a long time before yourself, but like, do you see it within the industry that you in?
You mean intentional bias?
Yeah, right.
Unintentional is not on purpose.
Right. That's what I was gonna say. Like it's
intentional bias. Yeah,
it's both.
In the military. Another reason why I've been out since 2014.
Yeah,
I don't even want to go into it. No.
So
that was all intentional though. That none of that shit was unintentional. All that shit was intentional.
Right.
It was fucking wrong.
Right. So intentional. What I'm saying is, when I was relaying to that, I just took a course that was called unintentional.
With the let's say unintentional. With the cultural difference over here in Germany, like some of the white folk might say some shit that they don't understand. We look at it a different way, so that's unintentional.
Right, exactly.
And like, I don't like it when, like, the Germans have a little thing they say, especially with kids. Look at the little monkey. I'm like, ooh, this is not. I said, not black kids.
It's not a good. They must say the Alabama video.
Yeah, it's stuff like unintentional I experience that.
They not racist, man.
All day. Just not knowing. You got, teaching in school, like, hey, that's not what we like, because it means this. Oh, I didn't know that. So so now you know in the future.
Yeah, they not racist. They not racist, so it's definitely unintentional.
Yeah, right. They got a lot of things literal. Everything is so literal.
Yeah. Right. Let's see. We got somebody in the comments. We got, as teachers, Miss BZ. She said, as teachers, you have to be aware of your own bias to ensure. What's up?
From Instagram.
I think it might be. I think, but not. This is different. It's a different. Okay, this is the teacher. Okay, cool. So shout out to her.
Yeah, she said on our ass the other night on Instagram.
Right.
Where you at? Where you at?
She said, as teachers, you have to be aware of your own bias to ensure all students are assessed appropriately. I believe that so much injustice has been done to Black and brown students, especially. I agree with it.
I agree.
I agree with it.
I agree because unintentional bias, be that as it may, is unconscious, right? However,
what's up, Tracy?
Tracy. What up?
Hello, Tracy. It is also based on beliefs. It is based on beliefs. It is based on the consistency around you. So it comes from something that's intentional. Don't get it twisted now. Motherfuckers is not getting off the hook. Damn it.
Right. Exactly.
Because the unintentional shit is born from the intentional shit. Exactly. So at some point, you experience the motherfucker that felt like black people shouldn't walk on the same side of the street as white people, or you experienced somebody that felt like black people were just inferior altogether. Those are the type of situations that create what we have today, because motherfuckers didn't know 100 years ago that hating black folks was gonna be like it is 100 years later. Like,
right,
we are almost predisposed wherever we go. If that makes sense. Like, wherever
off the real.
Miss Tracy, you coming up to the show?
I used to work in the finance world, bro. Like, do you know what the dominant, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was 1-on-1 in my company, and the company I used to work for spanned across 7 states. I was 1 of 1.
Right.
So unintentional. I mean, bro, you almost got to look at the intentional shit like it's unintentional. You see what I'm saying?
I want to ask Miss B a question, because she in the school system, right? So Miss Tracy too. But so as y'all the people, send her the invite.
Yeah. I don't have your Instagram. If you drop your Instagram handle on here, I'll send you the link to join.
Right.
She wanted to talk about her job.
So with education, within the educational system, I say, like, intentional bias, I would say an example of intentional bias. And I want to see if the teachers or the people that's into the education kind of agree with this, or, can kind of see where I'm coming from. Most kids that are like brown skinned or, minorities, I would say, when they get in trouble in school, it's always related to like an IEP type of situation, or behavior type of situation. IEP is like something like they trying to put you in like a slow class, basically. They trying to say that you got a problem. Yeah,
I know what it is. A couple of my kids got one.
Right. So those things, when they do that, like, they trying to, like, I feel like, in a sense, like, just because the kid's not sitting or doing whatever they want them to do at the time, that they get frustrated real quick, the teachers do, and that's like the first line of offense for them to, like, get you out of their way. And don't get me wrong, now, if your child, one of them childs that's disrupting the class, then that's a different thing. But if it's just like certain little scenarios, he getting into it with this and that, I feel like up here at least, they really like focus on like and the reason I know this because I done been in that situation, and most of the kids that's in it is like brown skinned or minorities. You know what I'm saying? They kids that don't get the chance to be heard or nothing like that, or see what's really the problem, besides just throwing them into, okay, you can't sit down, we're gonna put you in a smaller setting. That's what they call it, like smaller setting classes. To where, like, you can't be in there with, like, over a certain amount of people. So,
but you know what though, bro?
Yeah,
I understand what you're saying, but from a different perspective, motherfuckers need to handle their kids.
Yeah,
need to handle your kids. Because if a teacher called me and tell me my child is being disruptive in the class to the point where they thinking about removing them from the normal size group and putting them with a smaller group, I'm finna get right with you.
Right.
I'm finna get right with you. And based on, depending on what you tell me, is whether I'm gonna stop with you or whether I'm gonna deal with you and then go to the school too.
Right.
See, because it's a difference between having an issue, having a situation that hinders you from being still and paying attention,
right,
versus you just trying to do what the fuck you want to do and being antsy and being undisciplined. And I'm not the guy for undisciplined. I'm gonna put some discipline right in your life.
That's right. Whoop that ass. Whoop that ass.
leather to skin. Yeah, so you're right about that. That is a good point, But at the same time, I feel like
and it's mainly our kids, because what do our kids come from? Our kids mainly come from broken fucking homes.
Yep.
And that's not being unintentional. Statistics show that. We know that. We live that. We seen that. We can speak on that. We can speak on that without the fucking opinion. It's a fact. Right. Because it was a fact where we grew up at, and it's a fact now.
Yeah. Yep, you're right about that. Hey, y'all make sure y'all hit the like, share, comment button, subscribe as well if you haven't done that already. We're trying to get to the 500 mark. We're about 219, 220, something like that to be exact. But we're up in the area.
I checked earlier.
Okay, so we need y'all to hit that subscribe button, man. Get them subscribers up.
Sharing.
Likes up, get them shares up. You know what I'm saying? The H.O.G Podcast will bring you diverse content every week. We ain't talking about the same thing. We ain't just talking about messy shit. Sometimes we do a lot of different things on here. So y'all make sure y'all tap in. But
we don't discriminate.
At all.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do is, man, we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and then we're gonna come back into the content. Also, we're gonna get some birthday shout outs and some town spotlights, man. We'll be right back. H.O.G Podcast Show.
Yo, Mr. Ninth Wonder here. Yes, the beard guy. The Kicking the Game, the realest podcast in the world. H.O.G Podcast, you heard me. Check in with CEO Gotti, Show Cheddar, and my dog through it all, Mr. Financial Lee. Catch him Thursdays or Fridays on YouTube or Facebook at 7 p.m. Central Time. As they keep you up on today's topics, current events, and anything else in between going on. Oh, and check out 91 the premium products while you at it. Male or female, I got you covered with everything you need from head to toe. Hair strand and cuticle, from elbow to ass. I got you. H.O.G Podcast, 91 the premium products, it's a lot.
Welcome back to the H.O.G Podcast Show. It's the Man Cave Talk, in quote, unintentional bias, man, in the workplace. You know what I'm saying? Corporate shit, So we just basically elaborating on how to stand up for yourself in the workplace. If you ain't got nothing that you need to be held accountable for. We ain't saying, you could be like me and shit and be not on time and shit, and then try to say some shit like, you got your shit together, but you do have rights as an employee. And
ill will.
Yeah, ill will in a bit. Shout out to you, man. What's going on? What's going on with your ill? Yeah, we talking unintentional bias, man, in the work.
You delinquent, bro.
In the neighborhood, all that, in the community.
What up, Shannon?
Shannon in the building. What's up, Miss Shannon?
What up?
All right. We got to catch up on the comments. She said, hey, okay. She said, Miss B said, I agree with a lot of what.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We can talk. Me and her can talk.
She said, but the education system in the U.S. is a broken system by design. of equity and exclusion. Yep, you're right about that. That's why we weren't able to go to the same churches and different things like that. But we still shook up we made some shake out of nothing, you know. And that's the power we got to know that we got to have. Like any young black man, and a lot of times this happened to like the younger kids. I remember growing up working jobs and was a hard worker, respectful and everything, but I never went for nothing. With even when I was younger, I used to tell them how I feel and all that. Walk off of jobs, you know what I'm saying? Just because, like, I always knew that, you know, don't no job hold my future. Like, if I lost the job that I work for today, shit, some gonna work out for me. You know what I'm saying? Some gonna work out for me. Get too much shit you can do with your hands, and you know what I'm saying? Different stuff like that. But unintentional bias is things we go through all the time, whether it's in our neighborhood. Shit, it could be, you can have intentional and unintentional bias in relationships as well. You know?
Did we tap on that comment right there? I don't think we did.
Which one? The I agree?
Not yet.
No.
Which one?
Yeah, that one.
That.
Yeah, there are not a lot of black teachers that can relate our kids. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You're right about that. And a lot of them don't even try to figure out a way to relate to them neither. You know what I'm saying? If it do, it be stuff like, okay, like one time one of my kids came and was telling me that the teacher was calling him like, "What's up, gang?" You know what I'm saying? And he might have been coming from a good place, but like you saying gang is like, that's what the young, you know, community is connected to from how I took it. You know what I mean? Like, what's up, gang? It's another way to connect with students opposed to like doing what you feel is cool that's gonna make the situation worse, you know. But man, speak your piece. You got an opinion?
I need to hear the context it was used in.
Yeah.
And the only reason why I say that is because I've experienced it. Like, man, you used to watch them little shits on fucking what the fuck, PBS and shit. Hi, gang.
Right.
So I'm saying, like, so right. What was the, you know what I'm saying? Like, what was the context in which it was said? Was he trying to be funny about the shit? Because then that's some bullshit.
You'll never know. You'll never know in a state like this because there's a lot of passive aggressiveness going on. So you know, you get people that play like, you know, that it's meant well, but they really coming from a space of, you know, it's whether you catch it or not. You know what I'm saying? And I know
catch it.
I know you can't be like that all the time, bro. But it's like with me, just coming from where we come from, bro, and like not having the tolerance for that type of shit. From what I seen up here, I done been that open-minded and thinking like this and shit. And what I see is what I see. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And if I see it, then I'm gonna address that shit if it's brought me in the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? And they gonna know like I ain't the motherfucker to play that shit with. You know, but you know, if you want to do it and think it's going over somebody's head, that's what you do. I'm not tripping off this. It's just I feel like that, you know, it's a lot of it happening. She said definitely, this is Shannon. She said definitely have experienced this in my 20 years of healthcare. I'm sure you have.
Hell,
flip the narrative, man. Hey, going after new goals, trap, take risk and prosper. Flip the narrative.
Right. What?
You have to though. Like you legit have to flip the narrative. Like we got into Harvard, we got into Yale, we got into Princeton, we got on the Wall Street. You feel they like Miss B, her comment, the history of iniquity and exclusion. I said those particular places because we were excluded for the longest. You saw what they did to our Black Wall Street, Wall Street. They destroyed it.
Somebody in the chat.
Then we had to break down the barriers to get on the real Wall Street.
A picture. Where your face at?
You know what I'm saying? I mean, bro, it's education and exclusion. Those are probably the most intentional bias that seem unintentional today simply because the shit been going on for so fucking long and don't nobody say nothing about it. We don't really want to be on Wall Street. Now I don't know why the fuck not, but I mean, like, we not trying to be where they don't want us to be, and that's exactly what we need to be.
Right.
Miss Trina, you there?
I get that.
You
You right about that. You know, that goes, that goes back. What's up, Trina?
Put your paperwork down.
What's up, y'all? How you doing?
How you doing today?
Good. How you doing?
Kicking. You got you some wine and a tea, or a tea, one or the other. She must be on mute. But yeah, I feel the same way that you feel on it. You know, it's a lot of ways you can look at it. But like God has said, like overturn the shit, like, you know, change the narrative. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like what we're gonna do? We can't complain about it. Like, you know, how people be about they parents that was absent, or, you know, it's certain situations. If you hold on to, you'll never be able to grow. So
yeah.
But part of growing is that though too. Part of growing is knowing that you have employee rights and that you can stand up, especially you got open door policy and stuff like that. That shit don't supposed to be like pushed back on. If it's an issue that you come into respectfully and you trying to get solved the matter without being insubordinate, then yeah, they should honor that. You know what I'm saying? So. And a lot of situations is played to their advantage. So, you know what I mean? I'm just willing to give any young person that have been through things in the job place. You know, I got fired from a lot of jobs when I was younger and didn't challenge it. A lot of the times, us as minorities, we can get lawsuits. We just don't have the patience to go through the paperwork and the dissecting and shit like that and documenting, like, when you being treated wrong, dates, times, you know, different scenarios to where you feel like it's unfavored to you. You know what I mean? And once we start doing it and then executing it, then shit, half of us won't have to work as hard, because I guarantee it's happening everywhere. It's happening in every corporate place for sure.
Bro, like I said, it's to caveat on what you said, because what I know for a fact is that, like, you don't change shit without making motherfuckers feel uncomfortable.
Right.
So you gotta, first of all, you gotta be interested enough to learn what the fuck is going on in your workplace.
Yep.
That means reading the policies, knowing the policies. That also means keeping yourself in check.
Yep.
Because what you do is always gonna weigh more than what they do. You know, but I mean, but the more we create this intentional intelligence, you see what I'm saying? You got to be intentionally intelligent with motherfuckers. You can't just be an asshole. You can't just be an idiot because it pissed you off.
Right.
You got to get smart with them, because they'll sit there and let you bark and bark and bark and won't raise their voice. Because why? Because they got the power.
Yep.
Yeah, but see, when you ain't barking, and when you ain't barking, and what you're talking about is in black and white, it's the basis of what y'all supposed to be doing. Then see, that's when you turn the tables and the situation get uncomfortable.
Yep.
Because now that motherfucker can't refute what you saying, because hey, it's in black and white. So if this ain't right, then what is?
Right. Or something need to be revised if it ain't. You're right about that. That's absolutely right. What you think about it, Jay? I see you over there.
I mean, I agree with Lee. Lee hit it on the head. It goes with educating yourself, especially in the workplace. Because I tell all the guys I work with all the time, especially the ones that's new to the military. I'm like, look, you need to understand and know every policy, rule, and regulation that connects with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everything that applies to you and your job, you should know.
Right.
Like, you know, all the way up and down. Because you know, like Lee was saying, you might end up missing out on something because you don't know that this is how it's supposed to be done.
Right.
But that dude over there, he know because he read it.
Mm-hmm.
He reaping the benefits, and you sitting over there wondering why.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
especially,
but the education,
especially when knowing who, my mama taught me that, know who your manager reports to. You know what I'm saying? Like, know the chains of command. Like, know who everybody report to. That way, if something ain't getting done the right way by you contacting them directly, you know that you can talk to their person that they report to make sure that you know the things that is happening is legit. You know what I'm saying? So, hey man, I wanna give a birthday shout out right now to my cousin Polo G, aka Stanley. He a part of this helping brand the H.O.G shit, the H.O.G brand. He down in Conway, Arkansas. I think he turned the big 36 today. So shout out to him, man. Happy birthday, cuz.
Happy birthday.
Anybody else
birthday.
birthdays this month? Somebody's birthday just passed it. I know too. I'm trying to think of it. Maybe I catch it in
my auntie birthday.
Okay.
I think it's the 3rd of September. Happy birthday, Aunt Shelly.
Okay. Happy birthday to you, Aunt Shelly. Who else got a birthday they shouting out? Put it in the comments. We'll shout out the birthdays in the comments as well. Yeah, man cave talk, man. Y'all know what it is. We talking on
it. Yours upcoming.
Uncomfortable conversations. Y'all gotta understand, man, that the change we need is uncomfortable. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna take long. It's gonna take consistency. It's gonna take commitment. It's gonna take dedication. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's on our part first. We gotta commit to what the fuck we want.
Man, your birthday way in November. We'll shout you out in November. Small head ass dude.
Nappy dude.
My birthday before yours. My birthday in October.
So. Straight up. Well, shout out to you. If we want shout out to you on your birthday, we might forget sometime, you know. Right. But so have you ever experienced it in your workplace, Trina?
No, not really. My work pay. I mean, I work at an HBCU, so no. I'm surrounded by black people.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Hey, right. You gotta hit the horn on the surrounded by black people, John.
That's dope as hell.
One side, we just happy to see it, you know.
Right.
Yeah. So, do y'all feel like, hey, okay? So the situation that happened in Alabama, was that intentional or unintentional?
That shit was intentional.
Okay.
That was all intentional.
Yeah, that was intentional.
That was all intentional. Man.
But do you feel like that they feel like they went wrong because they have a private boat and they was out on the water prior to
they feel entitled. They feel entitled. That's how it's been.
You got a private boat and you on and you in a public dock. That shit don't it don't go.
Correct.
Right.
Mm-hmm. That little sense of entitlement they thought they had gave them a false sense of security because they got their ass beat.
Tracy, I get it. They did feel entitled, and that's the whole reason the whole shit happened in high.
Right, because regardless of what the rules were, they were asked to leave, and they still stayed, and they wanted to argue, to stay there.
Right,
and they got beat down, and that was intentional for them to get beat down. Because we have our DNA so destroyed from just all of the years of abuse. And at what point do we stop the marching and the singing and we start whooping ass?
Correct. Though.
Because they know how to control us. They've been controlling us.
Right.
And we're even victims of our own systemic racism.
Yeah. We are.
That's true.
We are.
So, hey,
because we look at each other sometimes, like I was mentioning on the podcast. We always arguing, black men and black women. We always got issues with each other, but that's all by design.
Yes,
that's all by design. Because we're supposed to get along. We need each other, but for whatever reason, we want to nitpick. We want to nitpick with each other about things that don't even really matter.
Where you been?
That's a fact.
I've been saying this.
Because I could talk about this stuff all day long. I could talk about this stuff all day long.
Hey,
Because
my boy, Will said intentional unity that happened on that boat. Intentional unity. I feel
and that's what they're afraid of. That's what they're afraid
That's
of.
exactly what the fuck they're afraid of.
That's why they've always tried to take the man from the home. That's why they always try to destroy the foundation.
Right. So
I guess they found out that day.
Nothing nobody could do. Not even the police.
And I was glad to see it because it's about damn time.
Hell yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's all about perception. We giving them the perception they got that power. No, the hell they don't. Not really.
Well, most of them screen their perception shit and integrity and all of that, and everything that our racists looked at for is like, the murderer and the robber and the this and that. It stems from a person that they was oppressed by.
We learned from the best. They was the best ones at the murdering and all of that.
Right.
That's what they do.
They was the ones who brought it.
Right.
It started with them.
That's why I can't stand
the lying, the stealing, the cheating, the murdering. It started with them. It didn't start with us.
I'm just sick of all the stereotypical. Why blacks always hurting each other. First of all, let's get it together, because if you were in your own community, you're more than likely going to do crimes within your own community.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Secondly, what about the white on white crime? Let's talk about that.
Yeah. Right.
Because that's
what about the white on everybody crime?
White on everybody
crime. People, they just go after everybody and anybody.
Yeah,
they always.
We do got a lot of fixing to do, though. We do got a lot of fixing to do when it comes to our neighborhoods, because these young fellas, they really ain't respecting nothing like that. So they out here wild, just head first.
Because they don't know, because that's all part of the plan. You take away our history, you take away knowing how great we were. We ran all of this. We ran the world. You know what I'm saying? We really do run the world. We just got to know our power.
Tracy, so you a teacher? Are you a teacher, or are you just into the education?
No, I'm a teacher because I'm a mother. So I teach my children.
Yep, right about that.
So you know what I'm saying? But I've just loved my people so much, and I always wanted to get the root of what our problems were. You know what I'm saying? And we're basically part of this whole design to just take us out and destroy us. I mean, why they be treating their pets and dogs better than they treat a black person?
Hell yeah, they do.
Yep, very true.
You know what I'm saying? And imperialism got everybody messed up, because it never really was about black and white. It was about rich versus the poor. So the rich, they put the poor against each other. They told the poor white folks, "Oh, you got to watch them black folks," because they were trying to deflect from the power that we could really take from them.
Remember when I was talking about? Remember when I was talking about families like the Rothschilds?
Right.
That's the type of situation she's talking about. See, because people don't even understand that shit. Like there's levels of white people that really control this shit.
Exactly.
It's like when I talk about the money is up there, the money is fucking up there. To where they looking at shit go on from Katrina from their house, but it's on the other side of New Orleans where it ain't flooding at. Think about this shit.
Right.
The levees blew on one side of New Orleans.
Yep, the worst side.
White folks that lived on the other side of New Orleans just got rain damage.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Come on,
on one side, the black side, the worst side, so they can fix it up, got damaged. How?
Come on.
And then they're gonna get rich off rebuilding it.
Right.
That's then they're gonna get rich
get
off rebuilding it.
Richer. Put that E on there.
Right.
So if people just really understood just how deeply ingrained this stuff is, maybe people will really be woke and just, we gotta get away from all of this extra stuff that just takes us away from what we need to be doing. Right. And the longer we let it go, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna take it from us for real. They'll take the power from us.
We got to get away from self-hate first.
Right.
We gotta reverse that bullshit.
Exactly.
Like,
But we gotta see more stories than just slavery stories.
Slaves were first
exactly.
When slaves were first freed, we clung to each other. Like we gotta understand the origin of where this separation, this shit came from. Because this shit came from what somebody saw. It came from what somebody saw. Somebody saw that, hey, together they're gonna have the power. Together they're gonna be powerful. They're gonna empower each other. They're gonna get confident. They already got the know-how. They already got the work ethic. They can already go through hell and come out running. They can already do that. So we gotta figure out a way. This shit is all by design that we are fucking. All by design. It's not a fucking fact. It's all by design. Somebody created this shit.
Right.
And your mental, which is what we always talk about, your mental is what's the most important. Because they attacked that first.
Right.
See, this that Structure Monday type of talk right here, because a lot of people don't even like you said, like when they come to certain histories, like Miss Tracy said, like the history that the kids learning in school, like I would rather not see the slavery part to where we getting sprayed with water hose. Like that shit didn't make me feel good watching it. Never.
Right.
It don't matter how much they played that shit, it always made me feel different. You know what I'm saying? But when it come to the Black Wall Street thing, how that was burnt down and stuff like that, that was swept up under the rug. You never was told. Like a lot of schools don't teach that. That's not in their history.
They don't teach about the richest black person ever in the world was a black man.
Yeah.
They don't teach that. They don't want us to know that. They want us to think we was all slaves.
Right.
Hey, but we got some work to do. We got some work to do.
Was a black man. He sure was.
Right. We got some work to do, and we can't stop though. We got to keep going. We got to keep educating, doing different stuff like this, talking about it, getting on the platform, and just letting people know that it's different things that we gotta teach ourselves. We gotta push ourselves for that knowledge. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Shanna said, "Yes, we hope." My boy,
cool again, bro. I mean, like motherfuckers don't want to be smart because don't nobody care about being smart.
Exactly, because we praising the wrong shit.
Yeah, but then everybody wonder why we can't get past certain, why we can't get past this, why we can't get past that. Why Michael Jordan and Jay-Z the only black billionaires they talking about? Motherfuckers wondering this shit.
Right.
Bro, because you know why? Though I answer the question. I'm gonna answer the question. You know I'm gonna answer the question. Because they white man made billionaires, nigga. So it don't fucking matter really.
Right.
Yeah, they just give us enough to be like, okay, y'all doing okay.
White men, so that shit really don't fucking matter.
And we done said this before, like if Jay-Z now billionaires and they come from where we come from, what you think you know what I mean? That's like if a black man can make $1 billion, like you said, it's different levels of this shit, like the Raw family shit. Like, come on, man, it's a lot said in one sentence when it comes to that type of shit, you know.
When it comes to that type of wealth, though, you gotta understand something, bro. The Rothschilds' wealth was first built off all of the bullshit that we do now. The robbing, the killing, the stealing, the cheating, all of the shit we do now that we rule the stats in doing. That's how that wealth started.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. People don't even get this shit, bro. Like we were not a violent people, period. We didn't know what guns were. We use knives and machetes, and we use hands. Then you introduce guns and shit. Then you introduce the hatred, right? The me against him. Well, he got this, so I want his. Not how did he get that? I want to be like that.
Manifest the Millions in the building. Shout out to Manifest the Million, man.
What up?
Like when Miss Tracy say by design, bro, like this shit is by design, bro. They literally use the same type of fucking tactics and techniques that they used in Vietnam to fucking destroy the Black Panther Party, man.
Yeah.
I ain't, bro.
I was just watching this shit on the flight back to the crib, and that shit kind of made me drove like a motherfucker too. Like I said, it's a lot of shit, bro. It's a whole lot of stuff, but we still, I feel like we still are strong enough people to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? To not ever have to go back through it, because this generation, as you see, like they ain't gonna stand for that slavery shit. Them folk gonna do what they gotta do. You know what I'm saying? This ain't the bow down generation. Them folk gonna kill. Jay, you light tonight, man.
Oh, man, Lee taking all the, making all the points and stuff, man. He taking all the words out of my mouth.
This is bad. This is bad. You know, that's what he do. That's his bad. But like I said though, man, we gotta that Black Wall Street stuff though. We definitely gotta put people into that. We definitely gotta put people into, that content, because there's a lot that we need to know. It's people up here that ain't never even heard about it, bro. They don't even know that happened. You know what I'm saying?
There's a lot of people that don't even know just how deep our hands are into the creation of this whole country.
Right.
I mean, down to the design of the White House.
Of course.
You know what I mean? So that's where we have to begin, and that's what I'm saying. They're taking away our history, and that's part of our knowledge. And when you take somebody's history, like what is black, what is white, that's not even a culture.
Right.
What does that mean?
Just a subtitle for these people. Hey, everything that they call it, and like you said, like when you think about it, like to put that name on it, like that, white means what? Like pure.
Right.
Most people don't look at white like pure, and black means like darkness. You know what I'm saying? Like just on the example level, I feel like that Manifest a Million said, "Let me tell y'all, now white people will be the minority in 40 years, and that's why they mixing races."
I agree.
There's some truth to that for sure.
Well, I believe it might be less than that, because the last census that came out was just saying how even biracial people, the numbers like doubled by hundreds of percents.
Oh man.
You know what I mean? That's where all these laws, that's all these rules are coming into place, and these anti-abortion laws is coming into place because they scared now. The truth is in their face.
Right. You're right about that. It's a lot, like you said, all over the world too, not just here in the States. Like all over the world, people breeding with black people, African Americans, African, whatever it may be.
You up?
Hey man, it's a privilege and an honor.
Hey man. Let the church, man, pass the collection plate around, man. Hey, y'all make sure y'all hit the like, share, comment button, subscribe if you haven't to the H.O.G Podcast, tell a friend, you know what I'm saying? We're trying to get to that 500 mark, so y'all get in there, share that joint, if you like the content.
You say with sexy reds.
Yeah, you're right. They trying to confuse us with the sexy red.
Millions trying to start some shit though, man. Like, that them being a minority in 40 years shit is also the reason why they pushing this. This feminine women movement.
I know what you're saying.
If y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
like Atlanta, bro. Atlanta is by design. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Right. Yeah. Shout out to multi-talented in the building, man. Shout out to you, bro.
Atlanta is by design. You feel me?
Right.
Dwayne Wade let his son turn into a daughter.
Man.
You got motherfuckers from the most gutter motherfucker like Webby to
he said, why ain't on her today?
Dressing like women, painting they fucking fingernails, bro. The agenda is also to attack us as the makers of these motherfucking beautiful ass biracial and black babies.
Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah, That is, and then like if you notice, like I don't like to speak too deep on it because I don't want no motherfucker, but I really don't give a fuck. But at the same time, though, yeah, it's like them they get more they get more honor than regular men. You know what I'm saying out here right now. You say something messed up to one of them, it's over with. You're gonna mess around and be in trouble at your job, lose your job for just speaking or expressing yourself. You know what I'm saying? Good going though, cuz thank you, sure. Yeah, for sure, cuz you know, anytime you can pop up, man, and holler at us, you know.
I'm about to send her the invite right now.
Yeah. But you know, man, we gotta keep this type of information comment. This is an informative episode, you know what I'm saying? This ain't about all the messy shit we usually get on here. But I damn near want to venture off to some of that because Gotti being too quiet tonight. He ain't joking. He ain't eating on shit or nothing, you know what I'm saying? So we gotta loosen my nigga up over there, man.
Let's lighten the mood a little bit.
Yeah. Come on, Tracy, what you get?
I don't know. Come on, we was talking about workplace or something. I don't know.
Yeah. We were talking about unintentional bias.
Tracy ain't show up to work today. Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about I told you I wasn't gonna be there.
You did say you wasn't gonna come, but I thought you was still.
Go ahead, Gotti.
Told you they had the fried chicken ready. What was the fried chicken and tequila? Yeah, let's
chicken. Wait, who had fried chicken?
We need to start a healing process.
Had the fried chicken and tequila ready for you.
Shout out to Eden, man.
Tequila, but no fried chicken. But I'm saying, Trina, you got the fried chicken over there with you?
I have some more. I was trying to find the tequila. I just got the Crown Apple. That's it.
Who is Eden? Eden said we need to start a healing process. We done lost our way.
True.
Hey, man.
That's good.
That is right. We have lost our way in a lot of different ways too.
I don't think we lost our way. I just think people just became impatient. Okay. And they just stopped. Because, you know, a lot of people expected change to happen overnight. And when it didn't happen, they just like, fuck it. So I don't think they lost their way. They know the path. They just don't want to take that journey.
Well,
do you think? Go ahead.
With this for so long, that's why then people in Alabama got beat down. I mean, how long we could, you know? I mean, come on now, over all of that stuff. Let's just start.
Got it. Check out the comment, God.
What I did.
I don't know.
What I did.
Eyes on you right now.
Put the link because I couldn't do it.
Yeah, but do y'all folks? So a lot of people felt like when the George Floyd situation happened, that was gonna change a lot of things for us. And in corporate spaces, though, they did start doing a little certain minor bullshit to make it seem like that they cared and like they this and this. They had these little Black Lives Matter pins and different things like that, and they started giving a couple
Black Lives Matter
positions to
Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, you know, I know.
I don't fuck with that.
If anything, that made the workplace more uncomfortable.
I don't fuck with that.
But
that
what I'm saying,
Black Lives Matter ain't for black folks.
The question is this though: like, do you feel like after that, did you have hope as an individual that things will get better after we all witnessed that and what the world went through at that time with all that, you know, rounding up shit?
I do think it showed some unity for us because we did all come together.
It did show some unity,
but
it backfired though.
It was some hope there.
No,
but I think when Obama came in office, that brought a lot of hope. But then, of course, we got Trump, and that kind of was like that was like we backslid all the way.
So with Obama, I don't know, man. I got my reservations on that situation, you know. and I just like to say the least.
I'm not saying shit about Obama, man.
Yeah, I say the least by just
ain't nothing.
Yeah, like I was happy that we had a black president, but it's some things
that was all
better. Yeah.
Like literally, that was all. I was happy we got a black president.
I think that's all he could do, but being black. I think we expected a lot more than he could do.
You right.
So I mean, we got to take what little bit we got and just be happy for the little things.
But he was the safe black president. He was the biracial black president that was safe enough to say y'all did a little something.
You know what?
Right,
let me tell y'all something. Since y'all want to keep talking about him, I'm gonna talk about his ass now.
We're trying to talk about the people. We ain't trying to talk about him.
He is the reason why this LGBTQ bullshit is a thing like that. Y'all do realize that, right? Not only do you get don't ask, don't tell repeal, you also get the Defense of Marriage Act ruled unconstitutional. So because I married a woman, my shit is no longer recognized as a marriage. Is anything goes. Like, how the fuck that work? Like then you open this door, right? And I felt some kind of way about this shit. I was real pissed off. But you open this fucking door, and now same-sex marriage folks can go. They can get free time off, and they can go to a state where that'll marry them, and they get all these extra accommodations and shit. It's a fucking marriage. So why the fuck I ain't get that when I got married? But you drive a wedge between shit because you let them use you. And then it was like, oh, I gotta be progressive. Nah, fuck that. You needed to leave that shit alone and deal with a whole bunch of other shit because you fucked up a lot while you was in office.
Yeah. It did do some things that one, everybody didn't see eye to eye with, And
but let's be clear.
Like Trina said, I feel like that would have happened.
Can't do it so much, and he don't control nothing. Like they decide what he is gonna do, and what he ain't gonna do.
Trina, don't do that. Don't do that because I'm smart enough to know. I'm
smart
enough to know. And what I know for a fact is the things that he did have absolute control over is what he fucked up.
Well, look at all the shit that Trump fucked up. But
look at all the
Obama
shit
get
that
all
Trump
the heat because I just feel like Obama get all the heat because he black, and we wanted him to do more, and that was his first time.
Yeah, we did. We wanted him
black
to do
president,
more.
and we expected more. We couldn't get more, but Trump come and do all this crazy ass shit. That if Obama did one thing that he did, he would have been gone. But nobody looks at that. Everybody looks at what he didn't do, what he couldn't do, all of that stuff. So I mean, we got to take what we can get and be happy with that and stop putting all the pressure on one person for the first time. Biracial or not biracial, we got something, and he did something. Everybody's not gonna agree with everything everybody do, but Trump did a hell of a lot that was fucked up.
Go ahead, Jay. You got it.
He walked into a fucked up situation. So it's like for him, it's damn if you do, damn if you don't. He was in a lose-lose from the beginning.
Exactly.
He go to devil's advocate.
It doesn't matter how it gets looked at. He was
devil's advocate.
As soon as he stepped foot in office, he was in a lose-lose. Because there's no way them people were going to let him do what he wanted to do. And if they did let him do what he wanted to do, then he would have been painted as a dictator.
Exactly.
How do they get to do what they want to do?
So he does the only thing they allow him to do, and the only thing they really allow him to do, man. Okay, can we move on?
Yeah, we'll move on. Man. That was that. I want to give a town shout out to Slim Thugger down there in Houston, Texas. That man bought a community and built like properties and stuff like that. And I'm assuming that it's gonna be for people of color or people that's trying to do better in their life and stuff like that. Slim Thug always been pretty witty though when it comes to that hustle stuff. Like, so shout out to Slim Thugger. We don't know him personally, but we do town spotlights every show, and that's just something that was brought to my attention. I feel like that's dope.
That's great.
We got a comment. Who is this? This your boy Lee, ain't it?
Who? Huh?
I see.
I don't know who that is.
This Eden. This is my boy. This is my boy Joe. Shout out to my boy Joe from South Memphis in the building, man.
It's your boy.
Yeah, my boy Joe from South Memphis in the building, man. South Memphis out there traveling the world. Shout out to him. He said so. Fosse was responsible. Who was that? The little doctor dude, Fauci, was responsible for the riot, the massive protesting happening going George Floyd. Fauci purchased, I believe, over 30 school buses of protesters and mobsters, basically to go and destroy Minnesota.
Yeah. And that's exactly why I said no. We didn't get nowhere, and I didn't expect shit to change because we went about the shit the wrong fucking way.
Yeah, we tore up a lot of shit, and I ain't saying like I had hand in it. I'm just saying like people that, well, a lot of that shit that was going on though up here, especially though, like it ain't too many dudes that start no cocktails, no African Americans, unless they done been into like military or something like this. So they were saying around the time that stuff happened that they had footage of it being like Caucasians and stuff like that, like that was starting these fires and stuff like that. But like I said, it ain't hard to start a fire. Motherfucker can do it, but that was just what was around it. Like they was really pushing a lot of that stuff off on like African Americans and like
that's what we don't ever learn, bro. When we are violent minded, entering into this shit, people play on that.
They do.
People that wanna continue to make us look how they think we are now. Like you always gotta think, and you gotta critically think. We needed to be staging fucking protests inside of buildings, not outside, not with signs. Go to a motherfucking office. Yeah. They can't kick you out. All you got to do is call the day before. We staging the demonstration. It's gonna be peaceful. They'll probably have a little bit of extra security, but then you get your fucking point across. Because that man whose office you at, he gets made to feel uncomfortable, so he gonna do something about what it is you're trying to get done.
Nah, he ain't talking about Trump right now, but yeah, he said something about Trump. Multitality said, "What do y'all think about reparations? Do y'all think black people deserve reparation?" Anybody? Somebody?
Reparations. Man, we deserve what they have. Fuck reparations.
Yeah, and some.
What we deserve what they have, because what a lot of people don't know is what they have is what we created.
Hey, Lee, look at your boy in the comments. My boy South Memphis. He said, "Are y'all seriously?" I mean, he said, "Are y'all serious? Y'all seriously defending Obama on here and blaspheming Trump?" Like Trump. He messed with Trump. He thinks Trump.
Obama, and
he was on your side. He said he was with you with the Trump thing. He against the Obama thing. He always been like that though. He be talking that shit all the time. We can talk a whole 3 hours with him on that shit, bro. That's the type of stuff he be in. So reparations, like Lee said, I feel like we deserve to have an equal playing field, and
I feel like what they have is ours.
Yeah, exactly. Because of our ancestors doing all that free labor and shit, I don't feel like that we should be going through what we're going through.
Not even just the free labor, the processes.
Yeah,
because the processes is what makes money now.
Right.
The processes are why you have schools like Florida A&M and Texas A&M.
Mm-hmm.
The shit stands for agriculture and meteorology, bro. Agriculture is slavery, nigga.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing else. Try to explain to me how it's not. I'm listening. These motherfuckers didn't know how to plant a seed in the ground and make shit grow before they brought all them black folks over here. Tell me I'm lying. I know I'm not.
Hey, man.
I'll wait though. So fuck reparations. We should have what they have because it's ours.
Stand up. Yeah, you're right about that, bro. We should. And like I said, like we should be, man, motherfuckers should be giving us businesses to put in our shit. Like back in the day, I got this partner, Caucasian guy that was telling me like that land was like you can just go and claim land back in the day. It wasn't to where you had to buy certain shit. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And for those that don't know, here in Minnesota, bro, here in Minnesota, it's a here in Minnesota. This is my daughter texted me. I had the here in Minnesota. It's a it was this thing called the it was like a imaginary line, and I forget what they called it, motherfucker, bro. But it was basically to where it was a line to where like black people couldn't stay over this side. I forget it. I'm gonna look it up again though. But I was researching it like earlier in the year, and a lot of people that don't even know that it was a dude that moved her from Detroit, and he was a lawyer. He came here for school or whatnot, and he had bought the crib, but the neighbors didn't know that he was a black dude. You know what I'm saying? They didn't know who had bought the crib. They just know that the spot had been bought. Big pretty house, and it's still standing over south, you know. And his kids was in college and stuff like that, and they came here. I'm gonna look that shit up and put it in a group, but they came here, and when they came to that neighborhood, you know, they liked it at first, but then they started getting like tortured and like, you know, like targeted. Like people was messing with their kids when they was outside and telling them that they can't play with their kids and different stuff like that. But they had the prettiest shit on the block. They had the nice playground in their yard and all that shit, you know. The daughter ended up growing up and moving away, but it was just a lot of stuff that they went through, like having signs that said the N word on their doors when they came outside. It was a lot of different things that they went through right here in Minnesota. You know, I think it was called the red line, something like that. It's like an imaginary line that they, you know, African Americans couldn't stay in less than 40 years ago. Damn near less than 40.
Man, none of that shit surprised me, bro, because like I said when we started this conversation, this shit came from somewhere, bro. It all came from somewhere. The unintentional shit all came from some intentional shit. And everybody's learned intentional shit ain't unintentional. Some of the motherfuckers is still real intentional with that shit. It still exists. The only difference is between then and now is you have everything at your disposal to fight, defend yourself, and prosper.
What you saying? No, to Joe.
Motherfuckers don't use it. We want to use the system, which is a trap.
Right.
Instead of working hard and getting tired and sweating and shit, we want to do it the easy way, as if the easy way didn't ever suited any of us.
What you saying? Hell no to, Joe? Holla at me. What you saying? Hell no to? No. What's the cautions? What's the emergency? But yep, hey, they did. They had that shit happened right here in the state, and that shit was just crazy. Like the shit that dude had to go through being in that area to the point to where, like, I think they moved, but he was going through a lot of shit. But he was a smart, educated black dude.
Yeah.
His name was Thomas or something like that. I did a whole research on him, wrote shit down and everything. That was it when I first started the podcast. I seen that type of shit, and you know, a lot of people think like this was the place that a lot of people escaped from down in that area to come, which it was, but shit, it was similar to the same shit they was going to where they left from.
Just but you know what's crazy though is that whole Great Escape.
Yeah,
that shit did us way more harm than good.
Yeah,
because I'm telling you, Chicago was an escape, Minnesota was an escape, Illinois was an escape, New York was an escape, Minnesota was an escape, Michigan was an escape. If you look back in history and do your research, those are the places where all of this bullshit, the Section 8, the welfare, all that shit. That's where it all started, because those were the fucking Great Escape states. So hey, let's do this experiment and see if we can get the man out the house.
The boy Will said we
experiment and see if we can keep them right here instead of wanting to go to a better neighborhood.
Right. And think about it, like even think about the way that we was talking about traveling and shit though. Like for most people that like, stay in your area, don't go out there, don't do this, don't go explore the world. You know what I'm saying? You got people.
Who?
Huh?
What you mean? But that's who. Yes, that's true. But that's who. What are you talking about? That's who.
Who? Yeah, who you talking about, Joe? But that's who. You talking about what I was talking about with the guy that was over south, that the black dude that moved here for to be a lawyer and stuff. Il said we have land, it was stolen from us. Stop going off history and find our history. That's a good point. But in order, we gotta, like you said, find it. A lot of us don't know that, you know what I'm saying, because of what we've been taught and showed. I'm waiting on you, Joe. I'm waiting on you to get in there, man. I don't know what you saying no to, but yeah. Yes, the H.O.G Podcast Show, man. We talking unintentional bias / intentional bias in the workplace in America, you know what I'm saying, in our communities and our neighborhoods and our own culture as well, you know what I'm saying. We have the same emotion against each other, so just trying to figure out some solutions and some ways to switch it up. He driving though, so he probably ain't gonna respond back quick to that, man. What else going on out here, man? We done had enough talk on the thing. Let's get unplugged. What else going on, bro?
Yeah, what is? There's a lot of shit going on. What you mean?
Yeah, what y'all think about the Boosie thing?
What, man? Boosie stupid.
But is he wrong though?
First of all, fuck Boosie, because he said he ain't going back to Memphis. So fuck Boosie. That's
right.
My word on Boosie.
I'm talking about with him and his daughter and his.
I said what I said. That's some bullshit too.
Hey, before we get into that, I'm gonna say, Manifest a Million said exactly. That's why I said we all should have land. Not all of us have land, not even inherited, right? But what I was gonna say, that Boosie situation is crazy. I feel like he should be mature enough. Like I get both sides there. I get to where he feel disrespected as a parent and stuff like this, but we gotta understand that money is something that got that little girl hurt like that, because money ain't always the, you know what I'm saying, solution. Yes, she probably get everything she wanted and you didn't broke your back for it and poured into it for us, like on a financial level, but what about emotional and like being exactly. And shit like that? So I feel two sides. I feel like the little girl, she hurt enough to say that, because we ain't never, she been alive however many years, we ain't never seen.
Ain't she one of his older kids?
Yeah, that's one of the oldest.
Which means she was alive for the murder trial, the incarceration, and all that other shit.
And I think her sister, her mama and him was going through some stuff on something that had to do with a family member or something connected to them on it, if I'm recalling it right. But ain't no telling where that pain come from. But I still feel like she pushed the button and went a little bit too far by going to the social media with it. And instead of our people like correcting or pulling us to the side, we really, like a lot of them, you see all these social sites, they reposting and just quick to say what a motherfucker going through wrong in their family. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's adding fire to the flame, because she very disrespectful.
Her mama was adding fire to the flame. Her mama sitting over there in the other seat.
I know. I know. But yeah, that, the financial thing is one thing. We all know that Boosie show his kids love and shit like that. I ain't here to speak on no man's name and what they do with their family, but in this situation, you being a parent, I wouldn't even feed into that shit, because they got a video to where like he talking bad and everything over the phone, like he nigga snapping on that motherfucker. F that B, I'm a black eyes when I see her, and allegedly, you know what I'm saying?
No, he said it. He came out with his own video. He said
you gotta feel his emotion too. You gotta feel his emotion too, because it's like, man, I done watched you since you was in Pampers. I done wipe your little shitty ass, and you done grew up.
But did he really though?
And stood against me.
But did he really though?
Well, he had some type of support to her, for sure. I ain't gonna say I can't.
Shit. Yeah, money ain't no. Man, come on, bro.
As I just said,
you know better. You know better than
it ain't nothing. But it is a part of support though for that child.
I mean, it's one of the biggest parts, but it ain't the most important part.
No, it's not. Not at all.
It's not. But I know the points that he was trying to make. The biggest one that he kept hitting on was, she's 14 and her mama got her up in the house laid up with a 19-year-old dude. Like, every day. I would have snapped too. I do not disagree with Lucy. I would have snapped too.
Hell yeah. And you know how the young mothers be like especially like if it's a little nigga that's having money out here and he can contribute to them bills, they'll let anything go on out of convenience. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you can stay over here and I know what's going on. You ain't seen it probably yet, but it's just convenient to you to not have to ask another nigga for something or go out here and feel like you gotta turn no tricks or nothing like that to make your shit happen for yourself.
Nah, his daughter was dating a 19-year-old. That's
I know that's what I'm saying, but what I'm saying is in most, like especially Southern, like younger mothers like that ain't got a mate or ain't got nobody that support the child besides themselves, and they still caught off in the world, they'll take a dope boy that's gonna drop that bag and don't care what come behind it. Long as this shit get handled, I'm good, So,
but she's a product of her parents' behavior. I mean,
that's exactly what I was about to say. Look at her daddy.
Media, no
most
matter.
Girls want to
go on there and talk about my daughter and how she was doing this and that. I wouldn't. I mean,
that was crazy. That's why I said that was crazy.
I mean, he could have left that out if that's the case.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, and then look at who he is versus who his daughter's dating. Like, I mean, it's not too far fetched. You get somebody like your dad.
Exactly. Like, put a narrative out there.
The song was crazy though. The song he put out about it was crazy.
Yeah, and that song was heartfelt in a sense, but it's like I don't know. I think it's just levels to take it to, man. Like me and my kids don't always see eye to eye, and sometimes I be having in my head like I want to say something that I don't need to say, but I have to stop and think and pray and reapproach the situation, because once you go there with them words and stuff like that, bro, that shit a damage. That shit can really ruin that whole relationship. Like it's gonna take some real accountability for them to get back on the right path, and it's still gonna be awkward. You know what I'm saying?
And I think what people have to realize too is that we were once that age. So think about how you were at that age. Like we keep forgetting that we were young too, and we did stupid stuff and we said stupid stuff and things like that. So sometimes we got to go back to where we used to be to kind of understand where they're coming from. I think people kind of forget that when they become parents. Like, hey, I used to be this person.
I never would have thought about calling my parents out of their name. Ever.
Hell no. My teeth would have been knocked out my mouth and they would have watched me pick them up. No.
But I mean, there's no real healing there. I mean, you're each other's dirty laundry out on social media. Like, I mean, but y'all can't talk to each other. I don't understand that.
Exactly. And how you calling yourself somebody mama and you sitting there egging that shit and watching that shit and not trying to be the fucking problem solver in the fucking situation.
Right. We got some comments to catch up on. They coming in. Manifesting Million said all kids rebel late at some point.
Exactly.
Boosie wrong for publicly talking to his daughter and making a song, correct? Yeah, boy, what you talking about? What we think about what, Will? She said exactly, because you would never publicly speak to your child that way on Facebook or anything, right? Facts.
Nope.
Him. Okay.
Nope.
Yep. No, I wouldn't do that. But like I said, like sometimes we get irritated to the point to where we might feel like we want to say something crazy or approach the situation differently.
Not on social media. But my kids.
No, I ain't saying on social media. I'm just talking about in the household. Period. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
I'm gonna say it to them.
Yeah.
But that situation made it.
I'm gonna say it to them.
That situation just made it work.
As daddy to daughter or daddy to son. Damn it.
Yeah. How do you go back from your father basically?
Okay, Joe, I get you.
Or like on social media.
Right, but
I think it all boils down to social media. Everybody want attention on social media, so everybody runs to social media for that, to get that attention and to get other people's opinion. Too many people involved. Everybody in the world involved in y'all business. Leave it alone.
Exactly.
But that's what they like. They like the likes and the posts and all of that stuff. They keep them relevant.
I feel like you gotta approach that type of behavior with like biblical education, like taking it back to the where you're supposed to honor your mother and father, and like how your days can be shortened. Like I still live by that to this day. My daddy wasn't always the perfect person there for me, but I still respect him on different levels, and I don't never throw up the mishaps. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like type of situations, that's where spirituality kick in. You can't just be all street. You can't just be all thug. You know what I'm saying? You have to have a balance and know how to adapt to your kids' personality. Because all that is.
What my post said the other day? What my post said the other day?
It's a crowd.
My post said like that the other day.
Yeah, what?
I be trying to teach these little niggas, man.
Yeah.
It's 3 different types of health, bro. Physical health, mental health, and spiritual health. If you don't have a balance between the 3,
yeah,
then you're not healthy.
We talking about
to have a balance between
his
3.
Daughter, Joe. We talking about Boosie and his daughter.
Consistency, commitment, and dedication.
Right.
Because you can't ever let one thing get too far out of whack. You always gotta be in control of your shit, yourself, what you can control. Because that's how you stay healthy.
That's all you can control is yourself.
I think that mother, she enhanced that too. She enhanced that. I don't care if you and your baby dad ain't seeing eye to eye. You're supposed to always educate your daughter on how important it is to respect the opposite parent. Like you know what I'm saying? Regardless of how y'all feel about each other, whatever, you know, you should be.
That lady is mentally and spiritually sick, because it ain't no way in the hell you let you sit beside your daughter and let her talk about her father like that on fucking social media for the world to see. And this, come on, man.
Well, she angry too, so that's why she's condoning it. She's angry.
Know what daddy is.
Yeah, but emotions.
I don't even know
if emotions is what's gonna ruin us though.
Right.
But unfortunately, that little girl's a pawn in their game. That's what she is.
Right. Exactly.
Because she is hurt. I mean, you could buy her 1,000 things. See, what my childhood, I don't remember the exact dates that I was, got the latest record or this, that, and that. I remember, the things that my father did with me.
Right.
So she's hurt. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, none of them, ain't nobody parenting right now.
Right.
Right.
Because
everybody all mad.
Everybody kicking it and
he wouldn't.
But it goes back to the mother. She's the one that's hurt. I don't even think the daughter was even hurt initially.
That's what I'm saying. It's the mama. She hurt. So of course she's condoning it because she's hurt.
Because I'm listening to everything that the daughter's saying, right? Talking about, oh, this guy gave me $5,000 for my birthday and my daddy took it from me and put it in the bank. Why the fuck you be mad at that shit? And the mother over there, like, yeah, he just taking money from his own kids. Like seriously? Like, this is what we doing?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Look,
Charleston White. What the fuck is somebody Charleston White for?
Look, this your boy.
Fuck that bitch ass nigga, bro.
Charleston White. Ain't nobody been talking about him.
Man, don't get Lee started on this dude.
He do not like Charleston White. You done said the wrong thing. You should have said C-Dub. You know what I'm saying?
Look, yeah, though, right?
We got some fixing to do.
This motherfucker level 3. This bitch heavy as fuck.
Stress ring. What's it?
He said Charleston White, bitch ass. It's gotta be followed with bitch ass. If I say his name,
that man, look, hey,
let that shit go viral, bitch ass.
Do you
Charleston
feel like
White, bitch ass?
Do you feel like he intentionally fucking up the culture with the way that he presents his shit?
He is. He is intentionally making money off fucking up the culture.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He's being allowed. He's being allowed to make that money.
Intentionally fucking up the culture, nigga. He making money doing it.
Tracy, he is being allowed, but that's because they know it's a lot of trolling going on. This internet stuff crazy, man. Like, and we only look at it like popularity and all of that matter more to people than respect right now. It ain't about morals, principles, or none of that no more. It's about how many views you get and what check you getting from the views. You know what I'm saying? So that's just something we gotta wiggle around. Got it? What you think about that? That what your boy Ill Will said.
About what?
About what, Ill Will? The Boosie and
He said what you thinking about. He said what you thinking about. He didn't say what you think about.
Okay.
He said what you thinking about.
Okay. He chilling in the purple room.
That boy gotta get up off her. He getting tired, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
my boy got a show. My boy got my boy got a thing to do tomorrow, so we're gonna get up out of here soon. But I appreciate y'all for chopping on.
C-Dub.
C-Dub is, you know who C-Dub is, man.
What is that? What I'm thinking about? Boosie or C-Dub?
That's how I know my brother love me. He ain't say that bitch ass nigga name. That's how I know my brother love me. He ain't even say that bitch ass nigga name.
The Boosie shit, it stemmed from who Boosie mama and daddy was, because that shit's supposed to carry on to you, how you was raised. So if he out there putting shit out there on social media, that means social media wasn't available in the past. That means his mom and daddy were putting that shit out there in the streets.
Yeah.
Gossip, that type of shit. Everybody know your business down the street. Nigga get picked on. Type shit. You know what I mean? And that shit flowing on to his daughter. Because we ain't teaching her that shit. Right. You must be in the neighborhood where that shit common too for him to have baby mama with the same mentality.
Do you feel like he was wrong? But see, this go back to what we always be talking about.
Bro, put that shit on social media. Sometimes you gotta log off, man.
Yeah.
That shit ain't for public. My social media is for business. I got a social media for just family. Everybody ain't even on that shit. Motherfucker don't even know about this shit. I'm barely on that shit. Because I do so much business.
This shit make
you don't see kids' pictures, nothing. Because it ain't for you. It ain't for your entertainment. This is my real life. This ain't for some random motherfucker to judge that don't know shit. Now I'm gonna get pissed off, call you out, cuss you out, might be a shootout, might turn into something else. No, you ain't in my business.
Straight up.
No shit. Ask me for a flyer, motherfucker. That's all I can.
Hey, he done said Boo has been America's #1 Tupac. Act like we never want Boosie to be dead of the year that baby.
Dad of the year. No.
Well,
no. Yes and no.
Yep, like I said, on financial levels, yeah. But when it comes to emotional, everybody can't say that. And I think
that's what big crib, move all the kids in, all the baby mamas, and he take care of everybody.
Yeah.
And the same
That's
house.
now, Jay. That's now.
Yeah.
That nigga got kids that's grown.
Yep.
You talking about now versus shit he was doing back when we was in the club dancing to his ass?
Yeah.
Because that's what that girl came from. That's when she was born back then.
Facts.
Hey, when you know you're doing that shit, you gotta make it right sometime. You can't just say I ain't gonna do nothing. You gotta start somewhere.
True.
But you know, the oldest kids is gonna hate when the youngest kids is getting that type of life though.
That is true.
Jealousy
is real.
I grew up the same way. It was certain stuff I wasn't allowed to do that my younger brother was allowed to do. I'm like, how the fuck they get to do that shit? I couldn't do that shit. I couldn't play football, none of that shit. Good fucking all that shit.
So I feel like
couldn't play basketball. I ain't play shit till my junior year of high school. Already killing them in the streets, laughing at these dudes.
Was you killing them?
Man, just like I would have served Cho up if he would came over here.
Man, get your sand court playing. Man, you played on sand, and you can't fuck with me, nigga. Hey, but you know
my shit, I know your shoes ain't gonna be right. You're gonna look for some type of excuse.
Hey, but you know what though? That situation, I feel like that lead back to what we was talking about a couple podcasts ago when we was talking about spirits and stuff like that too, like good looks versus yeah, shout out Manifest. But she said hog type shit. But that you know, like Boosie, like back when niggas was young, before they got in the game and stuff like that, they weren't thinking about, you know, the type of chick that they was gonna end up with. I mean, the type of chick that they were gonna have babies by, you know, and probably not thinking that deep into like, okay, shit, you probably could have seen that she was gonna be this type of person before even making it that baby. You know what I mean? You could have
They was making the Monties. Those bitches was just coming left and right. They didn't care about the quality. They were just coming.
Yeah, and they were eating. Shit,
they was too young even to fight for the hoes and the educated motherfucker going somewhere. Didn't give a fuck. Come on, man.
All right, manifesting how
they was driving charges when grown folks couldn't even afford them.
Right. Yeah. It was going crazy. Them boys were getting money back then though, but you know, it's just a lot that come with it. That's an intentional thing to fuck up our culture too. Just notice how many artists that's really getting money and get put in position to do things. You know what I mean? Like it's mostly young niggas. They not signing no nigga like that, like the dude that I put in a group, Keith Wallace, that nigga that's spitting it like street poetry type. Yeah. He from Florida, but that boy hard. But he talking all educational type talk, and it's like on a trap level. You know what I'm saying? But
most of your artists that's own are former drug dealers. They got the budget to push themselves, or they backed by drug dealers. You know what I mean? CEOs. They old drug dealers. It's all drug money. They only hiring people because that's all these rappers doing. They're getting hired because they're relatable to the other drug dealers.
Mm-hmm.
So it ain't never gonna change because that's the system.
You feel
that's
like
the system of the music,
right? And if you ain't with it, then they ain't signing.
They ain't signing. Look at CMG. It's got to be relatable. It's got to be streets. It's got to be this. It's got to be, you know what I mean, a rap behind.
That's just another way to keep us down.
Yeah, you got to get locked up to get some clout.
Right.
You know what I mean? You come home, now you're the man.
Right.
For being a dumbass, now you come home, you're the man.
Right.
Oh, get it.
It's sad, but it's true.
You're right about that. And it's like that's pushing off on the older dudes too. Like the younger dudes ain't respecting the older dudes no more because of that. They don't respect morals and knowledge and shit like
the
that.
The younger dudes ain't respecting the older dudes because the older dudes ain't respectable.
Exactly. That's what I'm getting to.
I don't have that issue with the younger dudes that's around here that flock to me to hear what I got to say because they done heard whatever the fuck they done heard about me in this little ass town.
Right.
Yeah, I don't have that issue. So, nigga, if you not respectable, they ain't gonna respect you.
Man, then
they will.
You got 45-year-old, 50-year-old niggas out here still banging.
Plus, nigga, I will put my hands around your throat, so I don't really give a fuck about what you're talking about.
You got them out here still banging and doing the same things that the young niggas do. That's why I said it's like it's like you pushing the issue. They ain't gonna
show them another level when all you doing is what's on their level.
Right, exactly. So that's why they disrespect you. It's just like you smoking a blunt with your child, even though you know that they smoke weed, don't mean that you're supposed to encourage that by doing it with them. And that's where the problem. The problem come when you try to make them friends. Like, okay, if I'm gonna treat you like a man if you carry yourself like a man. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Other than that, you a child of me. We can look in these young people's face and know when they babies. You know what I'm saying? And you know it's a certain type of thing that you can say to them to make them think a certain way. If you a mature grown up. Other than that, if you mirroring what they doing, then you just gonna be like a peer to them. They're gonna come and talk to you how they want to talk to you and do what they want to do around you and shit like that.
So how do y'all feel about that? Are y'all gonna hang with y'all kids or smoke with them, drink with them whenever they get older or whatever?
When they get grown.
Right, but how grown is grown? When they're 21, you're gonna start drinking with them all the time, or before the age of 21, what they can do.
After you don't put
that good shit.
After you don't put some
college hell no.
Put some college paperwork behind yourself, get that job. Sustainable.
See, I feel the same way too, but people like, well, I'd rather put my kid to do it with me because it's safe than to do it with other people.
And I get
I always say.
I get that, but at the same time, They could go both ways. It can either be a gift or a curse. Yeah, because they can turn on you for doing that too. Well, you did this with me. You know what I'm saying? They can do that. So I feel like, what's comfortable for you is what's comfortable for you, though. If you feel like you can do that and it don't go to a disrespectful level, to each his own,
Right.
Yeah, but I can do that in my household, and we good.
Don't bro me. Don't bro me.
Don't bro me out.
I hate when my friends do that.
Well, I feel like we touched a couple points on the topic, you know what I'm saying? The unintentional bias, the intentional bias that we deal with in communities, workplaces, and stuff like that. Do anybody else got anything they want to elaborate on it? Okay, I take that as a no. So kicking it up next week. What we doing next week? We ain't putting nothing down in this.
What we doing this week?
Next week.
We doing. I don't know.
I know we were talking about some sports talk. I don't know if we can kick.
Yeah, we could. I mean, no, not on Friday though.
Not on Friday.
No,
we can do. Friday. We can do sports talk on the H.O.G Podcast page on Instagram because we trying to touch bases with them too.
Mess, man.
Right. So, however,
money don't equal pussy.
Okay. Next week,
money not an even exchange.
So money don't equal Punani. All right. So is that an official thing, or you just
the stocks don't equal the box?
Yeah. That's a joke. He ain't gonna come like that.
Hell no, he sleepy as a motherfucker. Don't listen to him.
But however it go, y'all, we gonna definitely have a promo and stuff like that. So y'all know how we do. Just keep a lookout for it. We'll have it sometime in the next week or whatever. So next Friday, we just gonna unplug right now and say we don't know what we're gonna do.
Real stupid.
But again, we appreciate y'all for tapping in. Let me see who in these comments.
Real dub.
Lies, Gotti. Look, Shayna talking about some lies, Gotti. I don't know what she caught in there, but when you said the coochie don't equals money.
I ain't gonna read the podcast because you said that now, but I'm saying right here.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's what she said there too. But either way it go, though, we kicked our shit tonight. We're gonna be on here next week, Friday, the same time. We need y'all to like, subscribe, share. We trying to get to 500. We gotta go in like we go out like we came in, man.
Let Miss Trina shout out her stuff.
Yeah, shout out your podcast and what y'all doing Thursday, Trina.
Okay, well, every Thursday night at 7:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will be on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And it's Can You Handle It Podcast, and that's with the U. So all social media networks, Can You Handle It Podcast, and follow us, share, and subscribe, and we'll be there.
Y'all tap in, man. Them the homies.
Look, there you have it.
Thank y'all for letting me be part of the show.
We support them. That's how they support us. Shout out to Shannon too. Y'all make sure y'all go check out their show they just did yesterday too. It was open conversation, I think. Just let's talk. So y'all go check that out at the Can You Handle It Instagram. Again, we'll see y'all next Friday at the same time. We're going out like we came in. You gotta stay prayed up.
Gotta stay papered up.
And you gotta stay pulled up.
All right, we out of there.
Good night.
The things I've been through wasn't great. Yeah, but I made it out of it anyway. You know that. The things I've been through